is always going to catch people off guard. Like, herO had no idea that that was actually what was going to lose up against. He just played really, really, really well.
Well, the countdown has started. The map is loading up. We're about to get into game number 3 here. The map is Terraform. Let's do it.
SK Telecom T1 Su, 허연수 vs CJ Entus herO, 김준호.
Down here in the bottom right in the purple, from SK Telecom T1, it is soO.
And his opponent to the top left in yellow is herO. On the team at CJ Entus. This is for foreboding music we've got here.
What do you think about this map so far?
I don't really like it. I know that you said you liked it earlier. The reason why I don't like it that much is because there's too many line of sight blockers. And so basically the things I don't like about maps, number one is random chance. So being a factor, which on every 4-player map, especially big 4-player maps, that's a huge factor in games. And players, yeah, like Cactus Valley, like Iron Fortress, like scouting can play, getting unlucky with a scout can play a huge role and give you a massive disadvantage because if you scout early, okay, let's talk about this concept before I even get on to Terraform. If you scout early, you're sacrificing a ton of your mining. Say you scout within your first 10 workers. That means 10% of your mining is gone for a long time. Think of all the trips of 5 minerals that you missed during the scout. You scout the wrong base twice. By the time you get to your opponent's base, he's got a Marine or some other unit to deny your scout. You won't get any information, and you've spent all of this money. Now, if you don't scout, you would have had the same thing happen. You would have had 10% more money for that entire time. I don't like that. The things I don't like are, again, random chances on this map. You have a lot of line of sight blockers, but there's no watchtowers to control underneath them. It's very difficult to know if someone's hiding in them or hiding behind them. So unless you have vision, which is oftentimes incredibly difficult to gain, you might end up walking into traps, which we already saw on this map several times in this tournament. We do see a gold base is being taken. My map rant aside.
Also, just to add a bit of context to you guys who missed the soO versus soO matchup, the reason they were boxing behind the minerals was because soO put his hatchery on the wrong side of the minerals on this map. I think he's much more practiced on this map now that he's been given a full week.
Wait, what? He put his hatchery on the wrong side?
Yeah, versus soO. He still won. Didn't matter.
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah.
So he couldn't take the gases, so he had to take like an early 30. He was going for a Hydroling push. It was pretty interesting.
Are you sure he didn't just do it to be sneaky, like when you scout the gold base, you don't see the hatch, like, huh, I guess it's not there.
That's what we were thinking, or theorizing, but in the interview he said he just messed it up.
That happens a lot, actually, with Korean games, because, you know, it's not always easy to talk to the Koreans after the game and stuff. They usually leave, like, right away or get sucked into an interview, but sometimes we have these ideas, these theories about players. We're like, wow, yeah, he did the double roach warning because he had this really specific timing. In the interview, he's like, oh, it was totally by accident. I just kind of rolled with it. Okay, he scouts the base.
I'll point out the one thing I dislike about this map is at the third base, I guess you can say, for either of these players, you can attack the workers from behind the minerals. I just don't like that idea.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
We saw Maru like dropping on either side of the minerals, and Impact was having a hard time splitting up his units, but overall, it just it's not. I'm not the biggest fan of that.
That's kind of an annoyance of this map for sure.
Kind of reminds me of Foxtrot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's something we did see there. Yeah, there's a few maps in the history that have been like that. The gold bases on like Metalopolis, for example, could be attacked by ranged units like Colossi and stuff like that. Broodlords in the middle of the map. Back old school maps.
Yeah. Back in the day joints.
Back in the day. You guys know I love to bring up a little history.
So, soO with this gold base, I'm like, it should be aggression here.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to be building off of those gold minerals, maybe make a bunch of roaches. It's a pretty common strat, but he's just going to be going for that lair pretty fast.
I wonder about this. This gives me a Nidus feel, actually.
Look at
his Overlord. Coming into the main base, not checking around. He's checking the natural as well. So Overlord's in a good position. Look, he leaves it there. I actually feel like this is going to be a Nidus play. Because the extra minerals...
got one in the back door, too.
Yeah, the minerals, the extra minerals that you get are like not going to be useful for Meatless. You could have done this off of 2 base of any kind. Maybe the idea of doing Meatless off of this is kind of like, well, now I have more wings and more other units with the extra minerals plus my mutas, and you're not going to expect it because you're going to expect a more normal push off of the gold base, like the Hydralis play you were talking about that you and Moonlight commentated. So it could be anything, but I get a Nidus feeling. And we'll never know for sure until he shows us, but...
Yeah, well, he's taken both gases, and herO was not able to scout that, too. So he has no idea, exactly how much gas soO is going for, what he's going to be committing to. Well, the lair's finished.
Escapes barely. Oh, he's just going to do an attack on the gold base.
Yeah, just a million gates, as many as you can possibly make. And still no use for the lair. Just nothing.
Well, this is really scary, actually.
There we go.
Hydralis Den. He's going to need a lot more than 1 Spine Caller to hold this many gates with pushing all the energy on those sentries. 3 more sentries. Okay, Hidden Spire. What? In between 2 line of sight blockers.
Yeah.
Why are there 2 line of sight blockers there anyways?
It's to hide stuff, man. It's definitely what it is. Like, what else would it be there
But
for?
it's like so funny that that's even an aspect of this map. I like it, though. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I like it.
Well, the gates are finishing up here. Ooh, if he can get that probe, he can delay this push a bit. He's going to have to force that pylon to cancel and redo it. That's annoying.
Okay. Well, this is very obvious now to soO what is happening. He knows what's up. He knows the strategy he's going with here. And
he's trying to follow up and get the probe or the pylon or something. But
this is just like nothing. There's no traction he can gain here. But what he's trying to buy, I guess, primarily what he is buying is time to get these spine cores up, to get these Mutalus out. Mutalus will actually crush this push if he can get a lot of them. There's no stalkers, it's pure sentries, and they only tickle.
Zealot sentry.
Like, if he can get these Mutalus out, he will hold this.
It is a lot of sentries, keep in mind.
Yeah.
It's like upwards of 8.
Going to hallucinate the Immortal to tank this, and that should be ignored, of course. It's going to force him to target his spines, though, which is really annoying. He's targeting sentries.
Yeah, that is so important.
He's targeting so well here, actually. Here come the
Stalkers coming in, but the Lings are coming from behind, trying to get some damage down.
I actually think that he might be able to hold this. 3 more meters on the way, and he's just going to target those sentries down again, and he kills the Stalkers. Notice he sends his Lings directly to kill the Stalkers. There's no coincidence. And here come the Mutalus.
Here they come. That's not a lot of sentries. It's only 5. Trying to desperately get some Stalkers. He's going to try to focus them down.
Oh, he's going to get those sentries. Goes for the one with the most energy first. And by the way, the hatchery lives. He needs to send these Zealots away. They're not doing anything but wasting space right now. He needs to send those to the hatchery and then send them to the main or the natural. He actually could split them at this point.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. Very smartly there.
Because the Mutas are going to go right to the main base right now, and there is a grand total of 0 Stalkers on the map. The Mothership core is at home as far as I can tell, and it will have enough energy to use 2 Time Warp, 2 Nexus Cans. Yeah, it's full energy. So he can delay that for now, the Mutalus push for now. Looks like the Mutas are just going to defend instead.
That's the only reason why he doesn't go. He knows about that Mothership core. It wasn't with the push. It's been out for long enough. And I feel like soO's in a pretty awesome spot right now.
He's in an incredible place. I don't think he can lose this game. Because now he can remake the gold, or he can take a normal 3rd base, and there's nothing that herO can do to control the map until he gets these 2 Stargate Phoenixes out. And that's going to take a long time. He can clear up all these pylons. He's got so much room to work with. Even if 2 Nexus cannons go down, he's like, okay, that's fine. They'll be gone soon. He has to make a lot of cannons.
He can do so much damage on the outskirts of the base.
Yeah.
Here comes the Nexus cannon.
He's actually just going to ignore it. He can actually, you know what? You can fight and then pull the meter that got shot out and then continue to fight. I'm surprised more Zergs don't do that, but... More
Zealots coming in here, and it's going to force all these Mutas back. It's going to buy herO so much time to get those Phoenixes out. This is a huge move.
Yeah, he hit them. He sent these 5 Zealots to the north around the gold base, so they weren't seen.
Yeah.
That was really smart, actually. That's exactly what herO needed to do. It's buying him the room to get those Phoenixes, like you said. A lot of drones killed, actually. He's down to 37. He will have that gold base up soon. And that's going to give him, obviously, a big boost in income.
Does soO still have the Hydralis then?
Let me check that. Yes.
So he can make that transition whenever he wants. I mean, he's got 4 gases total right now. He's taking a 5th. He's got 18 mutas still in the sky. Maybe he forces out like a ton of Phoenixes, and then he just goes like Hydra Ling with some muta support here.
Honestly, I wouldn't even mind to see him make Corruptors.
Yeah, that could actually work out too.
Make Corruptors and deal with the Phoenixes. That would be an unusual way of dealing with this sort of problem on such a low economy, but I can't imagine herO can deal with that. And if he just continues to push this air advantage that he has, there's only one stalker on the map. Still,
he's so far ahead of herO in the sky. And whoa!
The move! He went behind! Kill the Phoenix, keeping it low. He just, well, he even runs here in the main with Blings.
Not sure how he made it through.
If he can keep it running with this air advantage, I feel like he gets so much done. 10 Hydras on the way, though. Your choice was the correct one. The one that soO will be using here. And
I think it more so fits soO also.
I just worry he has to protect them because if the Phoenixes find them, you know, in low counts, they can deal with them. But obviously the Phoenixes are a bit preoccupied, I would say, right now. All right, now if he tries to pick those Hydras up, soO will be very happy about it. Taking a third base is impossible at this point.
Yeah, that's one of the awkward things on this map for Protoss. Like, think about those three third bases. There's like 3 ramps into the one south of his second base right now.
Yeah.
And the other one is out there. There's creep right behind it. Hydras can park there. Mutas can go behind it. It's hard to get a cannon position. It's just, ugh.
The thing is, like, a lot of people will say, like, on this map, it's hard for Zerg to take a third base. They, like, kind of have to take the gold base. They kind of have to play this way. It's hard for Protoss to take the third base, for example. Well, I think that's fine. It's okay if players have to play a certain way on a certain map. That's why that map's in the pool.
Yeah.
I'm actually starting to really like this map pool a lot. A lot of Phoenixes dying. But he's got a gateway fall up here, actually, that these Hydras are way out of position, and they don't have Hydra speed. They're going to take a really long time to get to this base. This hatchery should definitely go down.
There's no creep connecting these bases, too. Trying desperately to get over there.
Fusing.
It's not going to work out.
All right, he's going to fight this, though. There's no recall available here. Hydras are catching up. They're getting on that creep now. I think
he's got speed on the way, too.
That was a good move, but he needs to escape with this gateway army.
I don't think he's going to be able to.
I don't think so either. Hydra speed's about to finish. soO's like, oh, you still have a third year. That's good. Oh, I just feel like I don't know what herO can do to counter this. Blink is a good pick because it helps deal with the Hydras. It also deals with the Mutilas. But I almost feel like Storm would be the way to go, but it's too expensive on 2 base. He doesn't have any time to work with. The Hydras are right at his base now.
Some nice force fields coming down here, but that is just way too many Hydras.
Yeah. Really
and the
good
Phoenix
control,
not in position. Sorry.
I was going to say really good control at herO, but this is just a numbers game that you cannot win. The Phoenix is now picking up Hydras the best they can, but not enough for them to do enough damage. Once that Cyber Core falls, he's going to have a really big problem on his hands. He's not going to be able to make any more Stalkers.
He puts down that Photon Overcharge, it doesn't matter. Hydras have too long of range.
Yep. And you know what? He actually might even be able to just burst down that Nexus.
Look at the units there for the Protoss. 2 Stalkers, 1 Phoenix. That's it.
Look at how fast his Warping and Zealots died. GG, soO takes a lead. What a tournament this has turned out to be, man.
Yeah, every series so far has been so entertaining.
So good. This is incredible. I'm having so much fun.
Yeah, man. soO here, feeling pretty confident. herO, though, I don't know, man. He picked that map. Keep that in mind. He picked the 2 maps that he has lost on so far.
That's the funny thing about it, right?
Yeah. He doesn't seem too happy with himself. You don't often see herO a bit agitated. He's usually all smiles.
His KeSPA Cup pin is askew.
What?
It's like slightly sideways. herO.
Askew. Okay.
I just noticed that herO has his name embroidered on his jersey. I never noticed that before.
All the CJ players do.
I actually never noticed that before. I feel kind of silly.
Well, it's part of their new outfit, so you get a pass this time, Wolf.
All right, just this time.
Guys, we're going to have a 5-minute break. When we come back, Game 4.